Mundo Paralelo presenta Ed y Lorraine Warren, Historia. El día de hoy les vengo a hablar de uno de mis temas paranormales favoritos. Es sobre la pareja de esposos Ed y Lorraine Warren. Fundaron en 1952 la Sociedad de Investigación Psíquica de Nueva Inglaterra. Fueron dos investigadores de fenómenos paranormales. Ed Warren, que actualmente está fallecido, era el único demonólogo reconocido por la Iglesia Católica. Por otro lado, Lorraine Warren, que es una medium y clarividente profesional, que junto a su esposo eran dueños del Museo del Ocultismo, que está ubicado en su misma casa. Acá les dejaré un pequeño metraje para que conozcan un poco más sobre ellos. Ed nos explica qué hacer si un fantasma se nos aparece.
Espero. Welcome to another edition of Seekers of the Supernatural with your hosts Ed Warren and Lorraine Warren. Questions have been asked of us, of Ed and Lorraine. What do you do when you see a ghost? What do you do if you see a ghost? Those questions and many others will be answered for you tonight. I'd like to start with Mr. Warren, if I could. Ed, I know you're going to talk about the Viner case, but can you tell us, what would someone do if they encountered a ghost?
Well, Tony, it would all depend on the circumstances, the situation, the whole thing. If you're in a car like Rod Vesey was, driving along at 1:30 in the morning and a ghost suddenly appears alongside of you in your car, what can you do? You know, and it comes so fast, and then the apparition disappears quickly. So by the time that you're trying to figure out what you should do, it's already gone, you know. And some people, of course, would just be very startled. But if you're, say, a Christian, you're lying in bed, and something wakes you up, and you look out into the darkness, and you see a ghostly figure there, a woman, a man, whatever it might be, you simply make the sign of the cross in the direction that you're looking at it, and you would say, in the name of God, is there something that I can help you with? You shouldn't really hold a lot of communication with spirits. But in some cases, you're dealing with earthbound spirits, people who are very confused when they died. They don't understand why they're not in that physical body anymore. And they're drawn to the aura of a very sensitive person. And during the sleeping state, as you wake up, you are in a good situation where a spirit can reach you. Because you're on that same astral level. So I would suggest that you simply say, in the name of God, is there something that I can do to help you? If it's an evil spirit, it will disappear immediately. If it's a positive one, say it's a relative or some spirit that's just been drawn to you, then you might get some communication. I know there's been people that have seen spirits of children, of adults, and they get very frightened, and they'll jump up and run out of the room. Well, that's natural reaction for most people. But actually, what you should do is to find out what it is, what they want. It's kind of like this woman over in Torrington. It was her own husband that would show up. And she woke up one night soon after he died, about 6 months later, which I think was beautiful, but it scared her. And he would be sitting right in the chair, just like you're sitting there. And he would say, "Are you all right, dear?" And she got so frightened, she jumped out of bed and ran out of the house and wouldn't come back for a few days. And then the same thing happened when she went back in again. She jumped out of bed and ran right, you know, out of the house again. So the third time, her daughter said, "Mom, why don't you just ask Dad what he wants or tell him that you are perfectly all right?" Which she did, and she seen him get up. He was sitting in a chair. He got up, he walked down the hallway, and she never seen him again. But he was disturbed by the fact that something was bothering the wife, which of course it would be. He was trying to put her mind at ease. Say, for instance, you encounter a spirit in a haunted house.
Right.
And it's one that's a very negative spirit. In that case, you're not going to hang around and ask what it wants, because you're going to be frightened out of your wits. So in them kind of cases, I simply say, get out of the house yourself, leave, you know. There are spirits that can do great physical harm to people.
Asimismo, Lorraine nos explica que a la edad de 7 años comenzó a ver luces alrededor de las personas. Sin embargo, ella no sabía qué eran esas luces o cuál era el significado. Luego de mucho tiempo se dio cuenta que era el aura humana, energía espiritual, que se echa en torno de todos los individuos. Actualmente Lorraine sigue haciendo investigaciones en honor a su esposo fallecido.
Lorraine Warren es la protagonista real de la historia del Conjuro. Y estamos con ella. Lorraine, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations for the story because it's amazing.
Yes.
But let's go to the beginning. How did you discover your gift?
I was about 7 years old, and I was being educated in private Catholic girls' schools. And I began to see lights around people. I didn't know what those lights were. And I told one nun, "Your lights are brighter than Mother Superior's." What lights? Oh, private Catholic schools. And so I had to go for penance, go in and pray. And so I didn't realize what I was seeing. And what I was seeing was auras, the auras of people. Now, the auras of people depict who you really are, not what you project, but who you really are. You're good. You are good right now, I'm telling you. And I see that around people. Sometimes I see it around pets. It's beautiful. It's really absolutely beautiful. Now, when I go in to investigate homes, to go where haunting phenomena is taking place, such as this case in Rhode Island, then it's very helpful.
Yeah.
That I can see and realize what is going on at that time. Now, why I have this gift, I really don't know. There's nobody in my family at all that understood. And it was hard for me. It was very, very difficult.
There was difficult living with this gift.
Yes, because nobody understood what I was talking about. What lights?
Yeah.
What lights? I don't see lights around anybody, And so I sometimes had to keep it to myself,
Yeah.
And then I married my husband. I married Ed, a very dear man, the only guy I ever dated. And I met him, and he didn't understand me. So I had to keep that to myself for a very long time. I'll tell you, the best thing I really ever did was to go out west and with Dr. Thelma Moss and Dr. Johnson. And they put me in this kind of a cabinet to test my ability.
Yeah.
And I came out very high, above average. I didn't care about getting a report back from them. I knew who I was. I didn't need to prove it to myself. But then I gained more confidence, like going in and investigating homes and haunting phenomena that was going on and why it was going on.
Si el video te gustó, déjame tu like y comparte. No olvides suscribirte y seguirme en mis redes sociales. Nos vemos en el siguiente video.